How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to show y'all the easiest 5 tips that I can give you for if you want to progress faster in BMX. I know it can be kind of frustrating sometimes if you're stuck on one trick for a long time, and I'm going to try to give you these tips to really expand your riding and make you a lot better, a lot faster on your bike. Okay, so the first tip, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to start here again because I think this is definitely one of the most important ones, is ride with a friend. Ride with somebody else who rides bikes, because when you're riding by yourself, it's really hard to kind of work up the courage or just the motivation to go out there and try something new. You kind of just get stuck in the same routine of doing the same tricks over and over again. And I'm guilty of this myself. Even when I just go to the skate park just by myself to do whatever, like I might try like 1 or 2 little new things, but that's it. I won't really try any new like gaps or tricks over different things or stuff like that. I'll kind of just do what I already do, like try to air this quarter a little bit higher and throw like a T-bog or something. And I don't really try to push my riding as much as I should. Or if there's some trick I'm scared of, I'm not going to throw it just because I'm there by myself. I kind of second guess myself. Oh, I might get hurt. There's nobody else here. Just stuff like that. I feel like if you're with a friend there is that little bit of like friendly competition, like, all right, let's see who can land this first. Let's see who can land the most tricks today. So that's definitely the first thing I recommend. Find you a buddy to go ride with, and y'all just go out there and try new tricks all day. And it'll really help you to really push your riding, especially if you're riding with somebody who's better than you and you want to catch up to them. It really helps then because those people can show you like little tricks or where you should try tricks for the first time. So if you have a friend who can bar spin and you've never done a bar spin before, but you've tried it tons of times, but you've just tried them on the ground, maybe he'll come up to you and say, hey, you should try it out of the bowl. That's where I landed my first one. It really gives you a lot more time to spin the bars and find it and grab it with your hands and get both hands back on. It's just little things like that, and I think the main thing for me was just the motivation to go and try new stuff because I was there with my friend. I'm a competitive person, so I always wanted to try to get that stuff first and just out of fun. And it really helped. Like when I would go out and ride with somebody, I'd normally land a lot more tricks in one day, or land a big trick that I've been trying for a long time that day because I was out there riding with a friend. Okay, so second thing that I'm going to recommend, sorry, this sun's kind of coming out from behind the clouds and it's kind of getting in my face, but so the second thing I'd recommend is set a goal for yourself every single day that you go ride. I always found that I pushed myself more when I would get to the skate park and I'd be like, all right, I need to land 3 new tricks or land 3 new tricks in 3 different places. So say I could do a T-bog fly out. I'd try to learn it out of a bank and then maybe do it off of a bench or something like that. Just little things like that, no matter how small it is, as long as it is something new, it'll help your riding immensely. Because if you go out there and say you do 3 new tricks every day, say you land a bar spin one day, and you get that down for a little bit, then you're like, okay, I want to try it out of a bank. And then once you try it out of a bank, even though it's not too much different, it is going to help you mainly mentally. You're not going to be as scared of the trick, and it's really going to help with doing stuff later on in the street and stuff like that. But set a goal for yourself every single day to land more tricks. Or just what I did for myself is even when I was getting tired, I was like, all right, I'm not going to leave until I land this trick or land 2 more tricks or something like that. And it could even just be like an X up over a spine, or say you want to ice pick a handrail or something like that. Just little things, like even if you've done the trick before, do it in a new spot. And doing it in a different place is going to make you so much more comfortable with the trick. Because if you've only ever done it on one rail and you go out and try to ride a street spot and it's completely different, you're going to be scared to death of that. But if you're like, oh, I've done it on this rail, this rail, this rail, this rail, and this ledge, it's going to be much more, it's going to be a lot easier to comprehend and a lot easier to make yourself do it. So that's definitely a big one for me, is I'd really recommend just setting those goals every time you go ride. Every time you get out there, you want to get better, and don't just kind of get content with just doing the same tricks over and over again. My third trick, my third idea for this, and I know I've mentioned it before, is I recommend wearing pads whenever you ride. Like knee pads, shin guards, ankle guards, wear thicker shoes, elbow pads if you want them, but I always recommend a helmet. I always ride with my helmet. It's just kind of a mental thing for me now. I don't know, I'm always kind of scared. There's always that little thought in the back of my head that if I'm not wearing it, something's gonna happen. But I always wear knee and shin guards too, just for tail whips and bar spins and stuff like that. It's not really worth the risk. I'm gonna let this ambulance pass. See y'all can hear. Again, I apologize on the sound, guys. I'm working with kind of a crappy camera and I don't really have a mic set up on it. It's just the built-in. That was weird. Hey guys, sorry about that. So I was out here in the middle of a pretty empty parking lot, and some random dude on a bike just showed up and literally just started riding circles around it and literally rode in between me and the camera. Like, and there's maybe 6 feet between me and the camera right now, and this dude just comes up and did it 2 or 3 times. So I was just like, and I kind of was like, what are you doing? Obviously I'm doing something here, and he didn't really seem to care. So he was here for probably about 10 minutes, literally just doing laps around this parking lot on his bike for, I don't know, whatever reason. But he's gone now. Sorry about the probably camera angle change and different lighting and whatever else. But I'll just try to hop back in there. I'll try to throw that in there so y'all can see that. That was really weird. Just going in circles. Never had that happen to me before. Somebody just comes up and rides their bike right in front of me while I'm filming. But anywho, as I was saying, I'm gonna try to jump back in exactly where I was. I'm not exactly sure where I was, but I'll try to edit that out. Especially for learning no-footed tricks, or if you've even never tried doing no-footed tricks before, I'd recommend throw on some pads and go try them. Like, there's almost no way that you're gonna get hurt if you have like a knee, shin, and ankle combo. I'd recommend all 3 of those. Once you put those on, no-footed tricks get so much less scary, just because you can pedal slap really hard. Maybe you'll get a small bruise, but for the most part, you're gonna be fine every single time you hit your knees or ankles or whatever, just because those pads are there. You're not really gonna be scared of those. Like, those are some of my favorite tricks, just because if I slip a pedal, it's no big deal. Same thing with like tail whips. Sometimes tail whips can hurt because your foot will slap and it'll throw that other pedal into your shin, but pads can really cut down on the amount of injury time that you have. And that's the main point I'm trying to get across right here, is if you wear pads, you're going to be out and a lot less. Like, so say you're riding and you slip a pedal and you smack your shin, that thing's going to be swollen and kind of jiggling around when you walk and you ride for a little while, and you're going to be kind of timid and not really want to do anything, because that does hurt, and those shinners hurt so bad. But whenever you're wearing shin guards, like, you'll smack it, you'll sit down for 30 seconds, and you'll be good to go, if even that long. So I'd really recommend those. I'll definitely recommend the helmet too. I've actually really prevented myself from getting seriously injured. I was jumping a spine one time a different way than I never have, and this was like maybe a week or 2 after I just learned how to do the spine. So I'd done it maybe 5 or 6 times, and one of my friends was like, oh, hit it this way. And I tried it that way and didn't have anywhere near as much speed as I did before. And I landed and looped out and just completely flew onto my back, knocked the wind out of me, and I smacked my head on the quarters super hard. And if I wouldn't have been wearing a helmet, I probably would have cracked my skull or something like that. So ever since that, I've been religious about wearing my helmet if I'm ever trying anything relatively dangerous or riding a bull or anything like that. Like, if I'm just riding around and I do like a hot bar spin or whatever, I'm pretty okay with that. But almost any time I'm riding in a bull, I always have my helmet on. Now, that's a pretty big recommendation for me, is I'd really wear pads. You'll be a lot less scared to try stuff, and kind of encouraged whenever you smack your shin really hard for the first time and you're like, wow, that actually didn't hurt because of these pads. And you'll really boost your confidence in that and make you a more confident rider that wants to try more tricks. So my 4th recommendation that I don't think I've actually heard anywhere else, like on any other videos, so I watch videos whenever I first started riding quite a bit, is ride different things. Like, if you ride the same skate park every day, you're going to develop certain skills, and maybe you'll really shred at that skate park. But whenever you go somewhere else, it's going to be so foreign to you that you're not really going to know what to do. Like, if something's not exactly like like say there's a certain flyout that you hit every single time, and you go ride somewhere else, like another skate park, or go ride dirt jumps or whatever else, it's going to feel super, super weird. So I'd really recommend trying to become kind of an all-around like rider, like dirt jumps, park and street. That's just personally what I did. I pretty much cycled around the 3 for the first 3 or 4 years of my riding. I'd go ride dirt jumps. We had a little track set up like right down the block for me, and they weren't too big, but I mean, even something that's relatively small, it can really help a lot. Sorry about the mic again, guys. I'm really going to try to get one relatively soon. I'm kind of tight on money right now, so hopefully if I get a little bit more money in the near future, I'll be able to buy like either a mic setup to put on my shirt or buy a better camera and stick a real fancy mic on the top of it. But back to what I was saying, is ride other things. Like if you only ride park, you're not going to know how to hop as well. If you only ride street, you're not going to know how to ride bowls. If you don't ride dirt, well, dirt's kind of the combination of the two. But it's just dirt's kind of a whole different feeling. I feel like there's a lot more relation between street and park. But dirt does give you that extra bit of style. I think you can gain a lot of style from riding dirt just because you do get comfortable with the air time and being able to move your bike around and maneuver your bike. And all of these are just to develop more bike control. So like the more you ride and diversify yourself with different types of riding, is the more bike control you're going to have on different things. Like you'll have either a little more style from riding bowl, or you'll know how to air a quarter from riding park. I just really recommend riding different types of stuff, because even early on, if you don't know how to do many tricks, go ride in a bowl. Even if you can't drop in yet, I also have another how-to to do that. I'll post a link for that. But literally anything, even if it's your first day riding, go ride different stuff and start doing that from the beginning. If you can't ride dirt jumps, that's kind of understandable, or a skate park, but there's always a street somewhere, and there's always going to be some types of banks or something like that. But if you do want to become a better rider, definitely diversify your riding and don't ride the same thing over and over again. Okay. And my last tip that I think I've also kind of mentioned before in other videos, but I'm going to kind of re-up and expand on a little bit, is don't get that image in your mind that some tricks are too hard for you, and don't freak yourself out over something that you've never tried before. Yes, within reason, there's kind of a fine line in the middle of this of thinking tricks are too hard for you or not being scared of a trick at all. You need to find that nice middle ground that works for you, because if you're not scared of a trick, or I guess it's over here, if you're not scared of a trick at all, you could go try a tail whip out of or off a street bench or something and dead sailor, and you could end up really getting hurt. And that's obviously something you don't want to do. One, you don't want to be hurt. Two, you don't want to be off your bike for that long. So and then on the other end though, if you're scared of a trick so bad that, and just because like your friends have always said like, oh, that's such a hard trick and stuff like that. Like I had this mentality when I first started riding too, because one of my friends would always be like, oh, only pros do this trick and stuff like that. And me being younger me, I was like, oh yeah, that's a really hard trick. It looks kind of hard. I'll probably never get there, whatever. But don't set that in your head, because when I first started riding, I never thought I would do bar spins or tail whips or anything like that, just because they do look really hard. But you just have to constantly progress, and that's why I mentioned earlier that you just need to set those little goals every day, and that's what leads to you learning how to do stuff like that, because those little itty-bitty steps will give you more bike control in every single one, like learning how to do a bunny hop over a bench, and then learning how to do just other little stuff in every different little way that you can think of. Every single one of those is beneficial to progressing your riding, just because it does give you that bike control and makes you more comfortable on your bike. But as I was saying, you need to find that middle ground on being scared of a trick. Yes, there's going to be some tricks that are really scary, but you have to try it in like a safe way for the first time, and some of those can be super scary. Throwing my first flare ever, that was one of the scariest things I've ever done. I ran up to it about 15 times before I finally just kind of said screw it and finally went for it the first time. But I tried it into a foam pit a couple of times, and I mean, I pretty much knew that if I threw it, I was going to be okay. I wasn't just going straight to a wooden quarter and like, oh, I'm going to try to flare, which would be a terrible idea. Definitely try it on the resi or foam pit first. But you have to be smart with your riding and what tricks you try, because thankfully, I'm knock on wood, I've made it through probably about 7 or 8 years of riding, never breaking a single bone. I've had plenty of bad falls, but I've recovered relatively quick from them. maybe the most I've been out is about a month from injuries riding my bike, like at a time. There's definitely been a lot more like accumulated time, but just be smart with your riding. And I know I'm kind of rambling on about this, but don't be too scared to try a trick ever. Like, don't just tell yourself right now, I'm never gonna try tail whips, because there's a progression to it. You learn no-footed tricks, say you learn no-footed cans, learn can, learn bar spins. Just get used to taking your body parts off different parts of your bike, and then once you think about it, you're like, actually tail whips aren't that scary. And I actually am gonna start making a tutorial for how to tail whip. I have a few tips that I've never seen in other videos before, and those are actually the tips that help me learn how to tail whip. So once I make it, I'm gonna put the little link right up here. I haven't recorded it yet. I'll have to go to a skate park, because the best way to learn how to do a tail whip is out of a fly out. I've never heard of anybody landing a tail whip hop. That would be insane. If you've done that, props to you. But yeah, just be smart with your riding. Try stuff within your limits, but also push your limits. Like, don't try it. So if your skill is here and here's where you want to be, don't start trying these tricks now. Try the ones that are a little bit right here. Don't keep trying the ones that you already know how to do. Kind of just push your limits and do it slowly. Don't try to take huge jumps, because it'll work out sometimes, yes, but sometimes you might get really hurt on those tricks that you try. Sorry guys, I know this has been a pretty long video, but I feel like this is like relatively important information that I've thought about over the years since I started riding, and I thought I'd share with you, hopefully get you in a better mindset on how to progress your riding and just be an overall better bike rider. Alright guys, thank y'all for watching. If y'all have any other comments or anything on what made you progress faster that I didn't mention, go ahead and put those down in the comments. I love seeing what y'all had to say, or maybe I'll put something that I've never thought about and maybe I'll put it in another video. I don't know, but thank y'all again for watching, and I really hope this helped. Please let me know if it does, and like the video. Thanks.